All right, final delay.
You're good. Go.
There's two reasons people buy life insurance. One's need and one's greed. And so the first thing I want to talk about is or the only thing I'm talking about today is why people buy it for greed, right?
Okay.
So most people don't realize you can do this with life insurance, but let's talk about typical retirement accounts. So IRA, 401k, 403b, throw out more retirement accounts. Anybody else know other ones?
401k, what is that?
Pensions, 457 accounts. Anyway, all these different kind of traditional retirement accounts all work the same way.
Thank you.
Right? The government does not want to take care of you when you get old, so they give you huge benefits for putting any money away for later. So for example, all these traditional ways of doing retirement accounts, say you make $100,000 in a year, we'll just say 50. It doesn't really matter, but let's just say 50. Nice easy numbers. Say we make 50,000. Any money we put into here, the government will give you a huge tax benefit for doing so, whether you're made to by your employer or if you choose to do any of these. Say we put in $5,000 away for later. Even though we put it in our other pocket for later, we get for doing any of these, we get a huge tax break, and we only get taxed as if we made $45,000. So in any traditional retirement accounts, we get a huge benefit for doing this. All right. The bad news is with these accounts. So that's the good news, and these accounts are great. The bad news is usually we can't touch it until about 59 and a half. The other bad news is we get a tax break today. So does anybody, if we get a tax break today, when we go to pull the money out, when do you think the tax bill's due?
Is that 59 and a half or?
Well, whenever you pull it out. So if we get a tax break today, the bad news about all these is I don't know how much of this money we'll actually get to keep. I don't want to get into politics, doesn't matter what side you're on, but they're all crooks. They all want to steal your money, right? So if this is what we use, and this is typically the only thing people use, if this is the only thing you use, each year we're going to have a different crook in Washington that has a different opinion on how much money they're going to steal from you. So if we take the traditional route, you'll have no clue for year to year how much of your hard-earned money you're actually going to keep. Not saying this is bad, because you get guaranteed tax benefits on the front, but on the back end, I have no idea. It's a big question mark how much you're going to keep. It could be higher, it could be lower. They're handing out trillions and trillions of dollars to try to keep the American economy afloat right now. We're going to have to pay for it at some time. Could be bad, I don't know. So life insurance, there's certain types of life insurance vehicles that allow you to build up a ton of cash inside of them. And so how those work, a big reason that some people buy life insurance, I would say it's kind of like rear heated and cooled seats in the back. You don't really care about the life insurance. You're probably never going to use it, but you really care about the cash that builds up inside of it. So huge benefits for life insurance. This is probably why I personally sell most life insurance, is for this reason. Say we make the same $50,000 and we put in $5,000 into the life insurance account.
I don't even have an option for 300, 500.
With the life insurance, we get no tax breaks today when we contribute. So if we make $50,000 and we put in $5,000 in our other pocket for later, no tax breaks. But when we grow it up, it's 100% tax free. So if we have $1 million in here, and the government says, "Hey, I want to take 60%," we have no. I don't know. We can't say no. I guess you can. We go to jail for tax evasion. If they want to take 40%, they can take it. Whatever they say that they're going to tax you, whatever the federal tax rate is, that's what you have to pay. And then in Illinois, you have to pay state tax on top of it. Just about the most expensive state to live in. So this really makes a difference. With this, we pay no taxes on the gains. If it's $1 million, that's all yours. So whatever this grows to, you get to keep. This one, I don't know. No clue. So that's a big reason right now why a lot of people do buy life insurance, is because they don't trust the government. They don't think taxes are gonna be lower, they think they're gonna be way higher. Or they wanna know exactly what they have when they get older. So a lot of people use life insurance vehicle for greed and to build up and to complement their savings retirement account, either what they already have or this is the only thing they use because they want to know exactly what they have. And oh, by the way, if they die, they leave a little bit of money to their family.
Well, they can't. Are you seeing, like, the way you describing it, like, are they able to take the money out of the life
Absolutely.
insurance, like equity, like buying a house or something?
Absolutely. Yep. With these life insurance plans, there's normally, so with all these traditional retirement plans, you can't touch it till really you're 60. Now with pensions, it's a complicated formula. Usually you have to work there for 30 years to get the full benefit, 20 years for partial. It's 30 years, man. So with all this stuff, you can't touch it without a huge penalty of 59.5. With the life insurance, you can always access it. But usually, great question. Usually the first 10 years, there's a big surrender penalty. Why? Because if you have $10,000 in here and you pass away, your family just gets $10,000. If you have $10,000 in here, you're probably getting a couple $100,000 that your family's getting. So the first 10 years, they don't let you touch the money. They'll let you touch some. So like the first year, if you give me $1,000, maybe you can touch about $80 the first year. It's a joke. 5 years down the road, you can touch about half. Then finally, after 10 years, you have access to everything you put in and all the extra. So it's usually about 10 years when you can actually access it. But when I'm talking to a lot of young people, like 40, 50, well, that allows them to access it if they want to retire early, if they want to help their kids out with college, if they want to supplement if they lose their job. Like right now, I have people who have this, that they're pulling money out where this penalizes the heck out of them for taking money. So this is just a complimentary savings or retirement account why you have life insurance. So this is a huge reason right now why people buy life insurance is for greed. A lot of people don't need life insurance, so they already have a job, or they don't really care about the other people, but they do care about money for themselves. Right? So I guess I'll leave my kids and my family something, but I really care about what it's doing for myself. Cool?
Yeah.
Any questions? You can cut that. Any questions on this? Great question. Any questions on this?
Nothing?
No.
Cool.
Which one do you think?
Both. I need and greed. Most of it's going to the greed though, because I don't think I'm gonna die. I probably won't. But in the slim chance that I do, I have a little bit. I have the renting kind. I have about $200,000 there because I have a bunch of student loans and stuff.